Coach Nash Show, featuring Coach Nick Nash and Alan Earl.
Okay, Clever County Sports Zone is at Cumberland Gap High School for the Coach Nash Show. I think it's episode 4. Okay, not the weekend you wanted, or last Friday, a 60-14 loss to Hampton. Coach, I have to ask it.
Sure.
What happened?
We went to Hampton. We went to, a very good football team. They were actually, they're kind of, not the Hampton team that has been historically the powerhouse. They're still a great football team. I'll tell you exactly what happened. We came out. We had what I thought was a good offense and defensive plan. Our defense, we struggled on defense. We struggled with run fits. We struggled with their physicality.
That's kind of my next question. Were they bigger, stronger, faster?
Yeah, historically Hampton's a big team. They had some big guys. We struggled on defense. Defense was our biggest issue. I take full responsibility for that. I thought we had a good plan going in. We struggled, but we have got back to the drawing board, and our practice this week was good, and we fixed a lot of those mistakes. It was a rough night for us. Not making excuses, because I'm not an excuse maker. Stating facts. It's a long way up there. Kids have got to be able to be, mentally tough when it comes to adversities of travel and things of those nature. But we come back. I talked with the kids. They understood, where we went wrong. They understood the things that we needed to fix, and we focused on that in practice this week and had a really good week of practice. I really want to brag on my team. Yesterday was probably one of the best practices that we've had in a long time. For an 0-5 team to practice and have the energy and have the want to of our practice yesterday, that really showed me that this group of kids knows who they can be and who they're going to be. And this is the first time in my career as being a high school football coach that I've had that much intensity in a practice when kids are 0-5.
You kind of led me into the next question. We talked about the defense a little bit, but how did they attack your defense that allowed them the success they had?
Well, they're just big. They're big. They impose their will on you. They run power football. 2 tight ends. They're big and strong. We struggled holding our gaps. We struggled, doing the things that we needed to do to be successful. And like I said, we went to practice this week, and we kept grinding, we kept teaching, we kept coaching, we kept playing. Kids responded well, and we got a long way to go, but we got the guys to get there.
Okay, during that game, what was your offensive struggles?
So actually, when it comes to offense, I want to say this though too. Offense, this was one of our, even though the score didn't show it, but this was one of our better performances.
Yeah.
When it comes to our pass blocking with our offensive line. Our offensive line is continuing to get better each and every week. We had some success throwing the football, even though the score didn't really show that. We had some success in that. I've said it every week, and I'll continue to say it as long as it happens. our offensive line is getting better. They are getting better.
Okay, name some good and bad that come from that game.
Well, obviously you hate to lose. The good that come from that game is our offensive line being able to build on their pass blocking abilities. It gave Tate some time to throw the football. Bad coming from it, yes, we did play our best, but I always try to focus on the things that our defense done well. But we also point out the things that we do bad. Because if you don't point out the things that you do bad, you'll never get better as a team, as a staff. I thought that there was improvement in our defensive line play, our linebacker play, and our secondary play, and our staff. There's always room for improvement, and it was one of those games where sometimes the mentality of our team we have to be stronger, because when you do go play a power team, a team that's been historically successful, we as a staff have to do a better job of getting our kids mentally prepared for that. And our kids have got to do a good job of saying, hey, our mentality has to be that we're going to win no matter who we play.
Yeah.
So that's something that we're pushing for.
Yeah, like a culture change is rough.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about a few things that game plan wise you wish you'd have done different, if any, and give me a mid-season report on this team.
Mid-season report. First off, I'm going to say this: I love my team. I love my team. I love my players. I love my staff. Are we winning right now? No, we're 0-5. Mid-season report is we let a few games get away from us that we should have won. That's just facts. I've told the kids that. Mid-season report when it comes to my staff, I think that we're starting to learn each other better. Our game plans are coming together better. We're starting to understand as a staff how we each other think, and the players are realizing, they're realizing that we can be a good team. I think they we kind of come out at the beginning of the season expecting to win a couple of the first ball games, and when we didn't, that was kind of a setback. But we're digging out of that mindset. I like to say, hey, we got to dig out of the negative mindset, and we got to stay positive. So, look, right now, I love my team. I love my team, and I love how their effort is at 0-5 right now.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Let's put this behind us. Twin Springs, Virginia.
Yes.
Okay, I think they on Max Preps is 2-1. What do you expect from them offensively? Have you seen film? Are they kind of 50-50 on offense?
No, so traditionally the coach there, I've spoke with him several times throughout the week. Traditionally, they're a split back veer team. They have had some injuries where they have had to adapt a new offense a little bit. So we're going to see Wishbone this week. Traditionally the last couple years they've been fairly a good football team. They're still a good football team right now, but I do think that they're experiencing some things that we're experiencing as the injury side of it. I think I talked to that coach, and he's had several players hurt that's out for the season. We have had several players that are out as well. I think we match up really well with this team. Size, speed, ability. We're weather may be a factor, but they're going to line up and run the football.
Okay, about the same thing defensively.
Defensively, we're going into it, and even though last week we struggled, this defense that I like to run against these power teams, we're not changing a whole lot, but we have coached it in ways that our kids, are starting to understand. Hey, this is how the defense is when we play power football teams. This region, it's about split, when it comes to power run teams and spread inside outside zone. We're gonna see flex bone out of Happy Valley. We're seeing, wishbone out of Twin Springs, and we just have to be able, as a defensive group, we have to be able to adjust and react well to those changes.
Okay, how about your offense attacking their defense? Do you see things that favor you?
Yes, I would say that our pass game would be effective, but I'm not sure that the weather's going to allow our pass game to be where we wanted it to be. So we're going to have to, rely heavy on our blocking schemes and our run game this week.
Okay, I've traveled to several states with Claiborne and Cumberland Gap. Rules can be somewhat applied differently from time to time, and state to state. How do you prepare your team to be able to adjust to what their interpretation of a rule or a certain block? How do you prepare your team for that?
Well, we only face we only play 2 out of school or out of state teams, and I'll just be honest with you. The only experience that I've had out of Virginia teams is Thomas Walker. I don't want to cast any shade on any.
Oh, I'm not telling you to at all.
Yeah, any.
But if there's a rule or a
certain
regulation applied, a little different.
Yeah, I don't know that there'll be any that will affect us.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think that, to my knowledge, there's none that.
So
will
there's
affect
nothing
us.
that really you're going to do prepare them.
No.
I mean, just play the game. I get it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know your thoughts
sure,
on it.
Yeah.
Okay. What are the keys to success going up there?
Same as always. Alan, you've covered me for several years. We have to play fast defense. We have to play hard defense. We're struggling with that right now. We're struggling with the physicality of the defense and the way I like to play the defense right now. And it's a learning curve for these kids. I mean, even though we've had most of the summer and even though we're 5 games in, defensively I come in and it is a lot different defense than they have been, that they have been playing in the past few years. And the same with offense. I mean, the kids have come into a brand new offense, and that's starting to click some. We just have to continue the same path. And I tell the kids all the time, one of my slogans, if you want to call it, is, we got to trust the process. We got to trust the process, and that's kind of, that's our players' mentality and that's our staff's mentality as well.
Okay, what does your team need to just avoid going up there?
We need to avoid negative thoughts. We need to avoid negative memories. I think that's the most important thing. A kid's mindset and a staff's mindset. Your mindset drives your physicality. Your mindset, if you've got a bad mind, you've got bad feet. So I think we need to make sure that we avoid the memories of 0-5. Now, I'm not saying we don't learn from them, but we can't continue to beat ourselves up over them. We have to see it, fix it, and go on. And I think that's the thing that we need to make sure we as a staff tell these kids, and we have, hey, know the mistake, fix the mistake, and move on, and don't think about it.
Okay, how have you and your staff this week, how have you prepared for them?
So defensively, we have, I told the kids it was kind of different. They ain't many coaches in week 5 and 6 that is doing a lot of full contact stuff. We've ranked up the intensity some in practice with our hitting and our physicality, and because those are things that maybe we didn't need to do in years past that I've coached, but with this team, I think we need to make sure that we understand, hey, we still, we got to teach these kids how to get after it, and we have changed practice some the way that we do things just to get them the feel of the run fits and the half lines and all that stuff.
Okay, I know Noah Fultz. He had some rough news come out last night. His daddy posted some stuff on social media,
Right.
And we hate to hear it, but how do you think he's handling that?
When I left practice yesterday, I talked to his dad, John. He explained the situation to me, and I don't know how much you know about his dad. John Fultz is a very
He's kind of a quiet guy.
he is a quiet guy, but he is very positive.
Yeah.
Well,
The whole family is really.
Yeah, they're just such a positive family, and and as I talk to a dad of a 14-year-old kid that has had this type of injury, I was very impressed by John's positivity. I was very impressed by the way he is handling things. I would hope that I could, if that was my son, I told my wife, I hope that I could handle the situation the way that Noah's dad is handling that situation. I've personally not talked to Noah since that information has come out last night. But, sometimes we got to understand that God's got a plan that we don't know. Sometimes it don't make sense to us.
Can't possibly understand.
But this family and Noah, they will find out the good in this, and God's work will be done through it.
Yeah, I posted last night that as far as what God's plan for the athlete Noah, we don't know, we don't
Right.
understand, but for the person,
Yeah.
for the young man Noah,
Yeah.
he's got unlimited plans for that man.
Unlimited.
He's gonna use that boy, that young man,
Absolutely.
for something great,
For
and
something.
awesome.
For
Yes.
something. And and he will continue to be a part of our program. That is for sure. He'll always be a Panther. He'll be a part of our program. And who knows? You may see him back on the football field one day.
Nobody knows. You're right. We'll continue praying for Noah and his family.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely. I would encourage
Yeah.
all Panther Nation to continue to pray for that family and for him, and pray for God's will to be done and understood.
yes. All right. Final words.
Yep. I'm going to say it every week. Continue to love these boys. Continue to come out and support the boys. I promise you that they're working hard. I promise you that that these kids, they understand the process. They understand where we're going to end up. And I love this team.
All right. Thanks once again, Coach, and best of luck at Twin Springs if the weather allows you to play.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. We will see you later. God bless.
Subscribe and comment below, guys.